y'all, it's Trey. Good to see you again. We were under a dust storm warning earlier this week in West Texas, but we are back on track and things are back to normal. Everyone's safe. So that's how my week has been going, in addition to the Christina Aguilera catalog. I found out from my first reaction that it's reported that Christina is planning on recording another Spanish language album. So I am going through this catalog and doing this at the right time, just in time to kind of refresh before everything starts getting rolled out, hopefully later this year. Yes, please, Christina. Today, we are going into Christina's commercial debut album. This is the self-titled Christina Aguilera, released in fall of 1999 after the success of her performance of Reflection, that iconic song from Mulan. This song went 8 times platinum. It has sold over 14 million copies worldwide. It won Christina the Grammy Award for the Best New Artist at the 42nd Annual Grammy Awards. What else is there to say? Oh, and the album debuted at #1 on the US Billboard Hot 200. Selling 250,000 copies in its first week. I think that's all the stats that I need to cover. So let's just dive right into this reaction video. Track number 1, Genie in a Bottle. The classic intro. Music spraying and the lights down low. Just one more days and then we're good to go. Waiting for someone to release me. I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. If you wanna be with me, I can make your wish come true. Come on and let me out. The impact of that song, I don't think it can be overstated. Because think about your favorite 20-something pop icon woman right now. She grew up listening to this. I grew up listening to this song, and I don't know that it made my generation different from the generations before, but I remember growing up and hearing that line about self-worth. If you wanna be with me, there's a price to pay. This song also noticeably influenced a couple of songs that have hit the radio recently. The most memorable I can think of is Crying in the Club by Camila Cabello and written by Sia. That refrain after the chorus, I think it is, there's a part of it that is like, oh, 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 oh. It came from Genie in a Bottle. Track number 2, What a Girl Wants. What a girl wants, what a girl needs, whatever makes me happy sets you free. And I'm thanking you for knowing exactly what a girl wants, what a girl needs. Whatever keeps me in your arms is what I need. Makes me happy. Yeah! What a Girl Wants. So listen, I was born in 98. I was born before this album came out, but I would have been too young really to remember when this album's radio play was at its peak. However, I did still grow up hearing some of these songs. Notably Genie in a Bottle, Beautiful, and some of her earlier ones got replayed later. I think the first album of hers that really came out when I was musically conscious was really Burlesque, the movie soundtrack. That was when she came onto my radar. So I've heard What a Girl Wants, but I only remember the hook. I still don't think the verses are all too memorable, but there was a lot more happening in that song than I initially remembered. Also, what a song title in the 90s, What a Girl Wants. Christina has always been about feminism. We love it. Track number 3, I Turn to You. It's actually a cover of All for One's song, I Turn to You. For a sheep from the storm, for a friend, for a love to keep me safe and warm. I
I turn to you, giving me faith to get me through the night. For a shield from the storm, for the one I can't run to.
Yes! Ma'am! That's what I was waiting for! I know I probably didn't do a good job of keeping a composed face during that one. Generic 90s sounding, ballad that might have played at the end credits of a film. And my thing with 90s ballads is it takes them a very long time to pay off. And I usually don't want to sit through 4 minutes of that for the last 30 seconds. It was still well done. It was still good. I just don't think it hasn't aged very well. There are a lot of 90s songs that sound like that. There are very few 90s songs that I would look up of my own will and play or put on a playlist or something just because there's so many of them. Boyz II Men did that type of song best. There, I said it. Track number 4, So Emotional.
You make me feel so emotional.
Okay, wait. Hey. She said, no!
You make me feel so.
That was a good one!
So emotional.
You make me feel so emotional. I had not heard that one before. I liked it a lot. The story is that song was actually written for the late Selena Quintanilla, rest in peace. When they put it on this album, they were thinking about making it one of the 4 singles. Unless you count Reflection, which then makes 5. So it was Genie in a Bottle, What a Girl Wants, I Turn to You, and then it was going to be So Emotional, but instead they went with Come On Over, All I Want Is You. This one has an album version and then a radio version as well. I'm gonna listen to both just to see if I can hear some of the differences.
Come on over, baby. Come on over, baby. Hey, boy, don't you know I got something going on? I got an invitation, don't you keep me waiting all night long. So what, won't you come? We will party till the dawn. Listen to me. All I want is you. Come over here, baby. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. Now, baby, don't be shy. You better cross the line. You got all I'm looking for. You got personality.
We love personality.
Sexuality. I can't help myself when you put your hands on me. Come on over, baby. Don't you wanna be the one tonight? We can do exactly what you like. Don't you wanna be just you and me? What a girl feels, what a girl likes, what a girl needs, what a girl wants. All I want is you. All I want is you. You make me go crazy.
They kicked it up a notch for the radio version. They added a little bit of guitar. They made some more boppy noises. I think it sounded like she re-recorded some vocals in there, and then she had a rap. I liked the radio mix better. It's just more of a toe tapper. Track number 6, Reflection. Someone else for all time. When will my reflection show who I am? 'Cause I can't help myself when you put your hands on me. All I want is you. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go crazy. All I want is you. You know you make me go That's another one that I just don't know if I can overstate the impact of on young people when we heard that song. I have so many memories of crying to that song growing up. It's a classic. It will go down in history as one of her greatest songs. The re-recording it for the new Mulan felt kind of like a money grab, but we don't have to get into that. And it just has such a universal story to it. It's something that we all do, present a version of ourselves to other people. She asks the hard-hitting questions. Must I pretend that I'm someone else? Why must we all conceal what we think and how we feel? It's a song that was bigger than herself and is still bigger than herself. Track number 7, Love for All Seasons.
Hey there, boy. Did you happen to know wherever you go, I'll follow? Oh, baby, like a cool breeze on a summer day. This love's for you. I'll be the rain in your summer, the chill in your fall. I'll be what you want, anything at all. I've got a love for all seasons, a love for all time.
Yeah, Love for All Seasons was not a song for all decades. I think it kind of stayed in its time. This album is giving me like so much 90s nostalgia, but some of these songs are obviously more timeless than others. Track number 8, Somebody Somebody.
Wish I had somebody, wish I was somebody's baby. Somebody, somebody. Somebody,
I'm liking this one.
watching someone kind of me. Somebody to somebody who loves me. Somebody, somebody. Yeah.
Hey. I related to somebody as a person who is going on 23 years old and wanting to be somebody. That one caught my attention, and it was 5 minutes long. I like that outro though. That was a nice little fade out. I just don't know. It was really, really long. That's my thing about it, is it was really long. I wanted to listen to it more and kind of catch on to it and be able to sing along to it, because I did relate to it. Track number 9, When You Put Your Hands on Me.
I just know when you put your hands on me, I feel sexy. And my body turns to gold. Lose my self-control. When you put your hands on me. When you put your hands
Key change! Yes!
so sexy.
And my body turns to gold. I don't get what the auto-tune was for. It took me out. So Robin Thicke co-wrote that one. I liked it. It was sexy. I was feeling the hook. But that auto-tune just took me out. I don't know why it was in there. Anyway, track number 10, Blessed.
You know how to live. Blessed for everything you give me. Blessed for all the tenderness you show. Do my best with every breath that's in me. Blessed to make sure you never go.
Meh. She didn't do anything wrong. I just didn't like it. Track number 11, Love Will Find a Way. Does anybody else hear that title and think of the song from Lion King 2, Simba's Pride? I love that song.
Put your trust in me, and I'll make you see. No, the rain won't last forever. Find a way to make it better. Long as we
this was intentional, but that gave me Mariah Carey. The way that the vocals were layered and, the way that they accompanied her on the chorus and in some parts of the song, I was just kind of like, this giving me Mariah Carey. Maybe I should listen through Mariah Carey's catalog. Track number 12, Obvious. Real gentle too. Can I just say, there are a lot of things about 90s ballads that have a really dated sound to them. But, I love that little shimmering sound that all of them would use. It's just kind of like a little tinkling. I just imagine a bunch of stars appearing in the sky while this song comes on. I miss that sound in music.
Hearing my voice.
Wait, girl, what?
Was it something I let slip? Isn't it obvious?
Her phrasing.
Like a fool that I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I'm feeling like a little girl. Yeah. Oh, suddenly these emotions control my heart.
I liked Obvious. It's really interesting that Reflection is the last song on the first half of the album and Obvious is the last song on the second half of the album because they complement each other. They're both about wanting to be able to open up and say how you feel and be honest about who you are. But Reflection is about longing to be that honest version of yourself, and Obvious is about the fear that comes with that vulnerability, right? Do people see how scared I am? Do people see my soft spots? What an interesting choice to have those two songs in correlating positions on different halves of the album. Wow, I liked it. I liked Obvious. All right, y'all, that is the debut self-titled album from Christina Aguilera, and I'm gonna say that there's a lot of this album that stayed in the 90s, and then there were some of these songs that were just instantly, yes, timeless song. It just, they stuck out. Some of those songs stuck out for really obvious reasons, like Genie in a Bottle. Genie in a Bottle. Songs I think will grow on me are So Emotional, Somebody Somebody, and When You Put Your Hands on Me. Also Obvious. Obvious is just, it planted a little seed in my heart. I feel like it's gonna have a little special place somewhere down the road. I will go back and listen to it again. I can say that I have now listened to the debut album of Christina Aguilera, and everyone else will just know Genie in a Bottle and Come On Over. I like being in the know. Overall, a really, really solid debut, and I think it's still her most commercially successful album. Very, very good. You can hear her wanting to do more R&B, and they said, no, teen pop, dance pop for this first album. Then we'll do some other R&B stuff later, but for this one, you have to fit into the pop girl image. And she said, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Send me stuff to react to, and I will see y'all again very, very soon. Bye!